So it's a Suicide Squad of Star Wars. That's right. Rogue One, a Star Wars story movie review coming now. What's up, world? Welcome to Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka, and what is Movie Breakdowns? It is a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grading from a grading system, so like A through L, plus and minuses do count. Sometimes I have a guest on, sometimes just me. So, let's jump into it. Oh, before I do that, hey guys, is there a movie you want me to review? Please put in the comment section, and I'll review it. Looking forward to it. Now, let's get into it. So Star Wars, or I guess Rogue One as Star Wars stories. I always want to say Star Wars because watching 8 of them is always Star Wars this, Star Wars that, Star Wars this, Star Wars that. But then Rogue One is like flips it. It goes Rogue One as Star Wars story. Ooh. And this movie surprisingly doesn't open up with the whole Star Wars credit too, like the whole rating and the zoom back thing. I'm not sure what my hands are doing. I guess it's trying to show like if you're a Star Wars fan, you watch Star Wars, you know what I'm talking about right now. The whole yellow words, the galaxy far, far away, and Layla and the story. You don't get any of that. You just jump straight into the movie. It's okay. You meet Jalen Erso, and she is like pretty much running away from the bad guys. Like the Empire has come and taken her father Galen to kill her mother, and now Jalen's like lost until Forrest Whitaker character, who is Saw Gerrera, finds her, which Forrest Whitaker is in this movie. Just giving you a heads up. So the movie it starts off with the rebellion finding out that the Empire is creating some massive death weapon, some destruction weapon, and massive weapon of mass destruction. Massive weapon of mass destruction. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Just go with it. Anyway, so they're creating this giant like circular moon weapon. And the rebellion heard of it, but they don't know how to find it. They don't know what, like they heard of it, but they're not really sure. And they got like some kind of sources from, like they heard of it. And they try to get to it. There's sources which they don't talk about the sources, but anyway, they find out that Jalen Erso knows Saw Gerrera, who has intel on like this death weapon. So the rebellion goes after Jalen to find Saw, to find intel on the death weapon, which they don't know what the intel is yet. But they just know Saw knows Galen, who works for the Empire, and you know that Jalen is also the daughter of Galen. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, now that sounds crazy right now at the moment, but it's pretty much the storyline of Star Wars Rogue One. I guess Rogue One, pretty much the storyline of it. So the rebellion goes after Jalen, and Jalen, for some reason, she's in jail. When we finally found out the modern day Jalen, she's in jail, and we don't know why, but she gets saved by the rebellion. And this is how they get intel. Somebody with, now I'm jumping because that's how the movie does it. It shows Jalen, then cuts to the next actor. So I'm cutting to the actor Cassian, who, make sure I got his name right. Yeah, Cassian. He finds out about the weapon via a spy for the rebellion. So he tells them, but then he can't move, so Cassian shoots him dead. Like, just, all right, you're no use to us. And they find out about Jalen, so they go find Jalen. And through Jalen, they're going to find Saw Gerrera. But then, as they're going to go find Saw, so Cassian and Jalen, with K2SO, which is like the droid in the movie. So you know how there's R2-D2, there's 3CPO, yeah. And there's I've got a little orange dude right now. Oh, not Beepo. BB-8. I think BB-8. I think that was his name, BB-8. God dang it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So he's the droid in this movie. So they go try to find Saw Gerrera, just to meet up and learn something, and kind of find out that Saw Gerrera has gotten information from an Empire trader about the death weapon as well, and then he plays it in front of Jalen, and they find out that Galen has created a kind of fault in the Death Star, which that's what I'm talking about, the weapon of mass destruction. It's the Death Star. And they got to go find and talk to Galen and try to bring him in and see if he'll help him out. So after they talk to Saw Gerrera, they go ahead and go find Galen. And then from there, the movie just picks up and just goes all haywire because the Empire finds out about Saw Gerrera too. And they're there looking for Saw Gerrera as well. And since they can't find Saw Gerrera, they're like, we'll just blow up the whole thing. So they finally shot the Death Star for the first time and destroys like the whole city. Which then you get to Star Wars Episode 7, the bigger version of it destroys the whole planet. So like as a fan watching, it's like, oh, I guess at the time it was a very scary thing. We compared to the planet, I'll take the Death Star. That didn't come out right. But anyway, so yeah, they will find Galen. He gets killed, and it's like Suicide Squad pretty much of Star Wars because everybody else in this movie from there it picks up fast and all goes downhill for everybody. Like it's such a good movie. Like I had nothing bad to say about Star Wars besides the fact it started off slow, or I guess Rogue One besides the fact that it kind of started off slow. But once it picks up, and I wanted more at the end of the movie. I guess this is my little tips about it. But I wanted more at the end of the movie because you meet characters in this movie and not all of them get fleshed out. You get Jalen, who is fleshed out. You get Cassian, who is somewhat fleshed out. K2SO is just there. And then you get some other characters who are just kind of like there too. And you kind of want to know more about them because they're all interesting and unique characters, which I want to know more about. And speaking of the interesting, unique characters, they all go on this mission to get the plans for the Death Star so they can give it to the rebellion. And they know going into it that they're not going to come out alive. They want to come out alive, but they have a feeling like it's a chance of survival is not that high. And it comes to find out it doesn't end well for them because the Death Star finds them on the planet that the Empire has like their giant library on, the giant database. It's nothing but like technology and data and storage for the Empire where they keep all their stuff. And that's where Cassian and Jalen goes to with the rest of the squad to try to exact the blueprints for the Death Star where they can find the hole that Luke Skywalker later used in Episode 4 to blow up the whole Death Star. So yeah, they finally get the blueprints. They get it sent off to the rebellion. They get killed because they're in the planet. Got hit with the Death Stars. The Death Star blows up the whole base. So they blow up. And this is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. Is you think everything's fine and dandy. You think everybody's like, okay, they got the blueprints. You know, there's still hope. The room goes dark. So a bunch of rebellion soldiers are in this hallway, and it's dark. The only thing you see is this red lightsaber that appears out of nowhere. And you're like, oh. I remember saying in theaters, watching this movie, I'm sitting next to this kid and his mom. And I'm the only one there watching it, like just me, and with the kid and mom. And I remember going, oh, I said it HAIT, loud. Like, not that loud. Like, I don't think anybody in the front row could hear me. But if you're like, I know he heard me. The kid heard me for sure. I'm sorry, man. Like, to this day, you're watching this for some reason. I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that. It was such a scary moment. It was shocking. And Vader showed why it was shocking and scary because he was cutting down those dudes left and right. He picked up one dude with the Force, like threw him against the ceiling, cut him down, and like going back, and they're panicking. The people were panicking. They're trying the doors jammed. It was like a horror flick, like Star Wars horror flick. Like that would have been terrifying to see somebody come at you with some giant like laser sword just cutting down stuff right in front of you. And you're like, well, the door's jammed. We can't get out. Like, great. And the music was playing, the light, the colors, great. The visual of it was great and everything. Loved it. That's probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie, probably my favorite scenes of the Star Wars genre. It was phenomenal. And that feeling of like, oh my gosh, are they going to get this off? Oh my gosh. And the answer should have been yes, because this is a plug between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Like, this is that middle movie. So it should have been yes. But to me, in that scene right there, I was like, what's going to happen next? Oh my gosh. So, let's see. Anything else I want to talk about here before I get to the characters? So, I got nothing else to say. Let's go ahead and jump to the characters. So, Felicity? Not Felicia. It's Felicity Jones. Felicity? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do this to everybody. She played Jiang Erso. I liked her character. Like, she was strong. She was somebody who knew what she wanted. Somebody who stood up to anybody, didn't take crap from anybody. Like, I like Felicity Jones. She was awesome. She was an awesome character. Felicity Jones playing Jalen Erso. Like, I believed her. She was fresh face. Like, loved it. And she had the face of a person. Like, Felicity was playing a character, and I believe Felicity, like, as a strong person who was like would not step down to anybody, as Jalen Erso. Like, good job, good for you. Fun fact: Felicity played in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as I think it's Felicia Hardy, if I'm not correct. But the Black Cat, she played Black Cat, and she wasn't like in her Black Cat outfit. But if you like watch that movie, she's the secretary for Norman Osborn. You had Diego Luna, who played Cassian Andor. Good for you. I like Diego playing Cassian. I don't really know. That's another thing about Star Wars I like. They pull out characters, people who play characters that you don't recognize, that you don't really know who they are, unless you're like a really big movie buff. So to me, seeing like Felicity and seeing Diego was like my first time being exposed to them on a big screen. And I was like, I'm perfectly fine with these people. So Cassian, Diego, good job. Now, Alan Tudyk, he's a guy I definitely remember from Dodgeball. He's Steve the Pirate. Well, he also played K2SO, and I love him. K2SO in this movie was a phenomenal character. He was sarcastic. He had big quips. Anytime somebody said something, he had like a retort back to him, and he gave him his thought process. Like, for example, Jalen got everybody together, and she was like, "Are you guys really gonna come with me?" And then K2SO is kind of like there, as everybody's like, "Yeah, we'll come with you. Yeah, we'll help you out." And K2SO was like, "I'll come with you. I will come with you. Cassian told me to say that to you." Like, dude's a dick. He's a dick. I love it. It's hilarious. Donnie Yen played Chirrut. He was the blind Force Awareness guy. Love blind characters in movies because they always are cool characters. They're always characters like he could use his staff like as a weapon. He was like knocking people over and fighting people. Like, here's a scene where he just knocks out a bunch of stormtroopers. Love it. Like, I wish we got more of this character because he was such a cool character. I love it. Wang Jing. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He played Baze, which is like the sharpshooter of the group, but he was a gunman, and he know how to use a gun and carry like this giant weapon. Really strong character. And after that, like, everything else was kind of like there. But that's the main crew. Oh, sorry. Bondi, who was the traitor, he was there, but who he played by Riz Ahmed. He was there, but I didn't really get attached to him as much. And this movie doesn't really allow you to get attached to a lot of characters that much. Like, you get to see them, get to see the cool things they did, and then after that, you're like, oh, they're gone. The villain dies, which the villain is played by Ben Mendelsohn, who is Orson. He's the project manager, I should say, of the Death Star. He's the guy making sure everything works and make sure everything follows according to plan. And when he finds out that the rebellion is trying to get the blueprints to the Death Star, he's like trying to stop them and get them killed. And he's chasing them throughout this whole movie. Gets closer and closer, and every time he gets close, he just the good guys are one step ahead of him. And he ended up dying in the end of the movie too, because he's on a planet that gets blown up. Like, so even the good guys and bad guys died because of the main guys in episode 4. Which I do want to mention, Darth Vader is in this movie, and James Earl Jones plays his voice, and I loved it. When I heard him speak, I was like, oh my gosh, James Earl Jones is in this movie. Yes. You're so for life. Loved it. Now, Governor Tarkin is in this movie, and I thought Peter Cushing was alive still when I watched this in theaters. I had no idea that he died, and Governor Tarkin was CGI, because it was 100% CGI, and I was like, really? Wow, I didn't know until somebody else told me afterwards, and I was like, oh my gosh, the CGI, it didn't dawn on me. It looked so good in theaters. I didn't watch it in IMAX. I watched it normally, and it looked so good. It's standard definition in theaters, and it looked so good. It fooled me. So good for you guys. Good for you guys. Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera. He was there. That's how I feel about Forrest in this movie. He was there. There's a bunch of stuff in the movie that didn't get explained. Like, there's a huge time gap, and he was there. So, my only, regret, not regret, but my only knock on it was, one, not all the characters fleshed out. There was stuff in the movie that happened that we missed, like how Galen was just all of a sudden, how Jalen was automatically, Jayan was automatically like in prison. I didn't understand why Jalen was there, and why she was in prison. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that happened, and Mario K2SO scene where he's like, we're rescuing you. You can stop. Like, it's just funny. But yeah, stuff like that. And I wish there was a second movie. I wish they did a Rogue One Part 1 and Rogue One Part 2. Like, we all know they're gonna die in the end, but it would have been cool to like grow with them a little bit more. So when they finally get killed, you're like, no, like, oh, we could have been episode 4, but it's another day, another time. So, it's a solid movie. Like, I'm thinking of other stuff I want to say before. You know what? I'll talk about that later. I'm gonna jump into, this is a Friday night movie. I'm going to say yes. This is a Friday night movie. This movie you can watch with friends and family and everybody get together. And now, because of that, I'm going to jump into the grading time. I'm going to give this movie, Rogue One, A Star Wars Stories, a solid, I can't do it with my hands, but a solid B. Give the movie a solid B. And the reason why is because the first part of the movie starts off slow, like really slow. And once it picks up, like once they leave Saw Gerrera's planet, after he gets killed and everything, and go to find Galen Erso, and once Jalen meets her dad and everything, and he gets killed, it picks up from there. And I guess that's what, the first hour into the movie. Sorry, guys. Speaking of hour into the movie, this movie is 2 hours and 13 minutes. So, first 40 minutes into the movie, between the 40 minutes to the hour mark is where the movie picks up. So I'm sorry, and because of that, I'm like, oh, it's not. I tried to watch it. I watched it 3 times, and to be honest, doing this review, I had a hard time doing a review because it was like so much happened so quick, and when that happened, I couldn't like pick up. I was like, wait, what's this happening? Who's this? Like, there's characters I couldn't really fully attach to, but they was there. So I love the storyline of the movie. I love how, they talked about this and that, and explained a bunch of stuff. But at the same time, because I didn't get attached to certain characters, and I wish there was more backstory on it. I wish there was more details. So, and I wanted more. I'll give the movie a solid B, because the first part was just so slow that I completely forgot, and I had to watch it twice about certain scenes. And I was like, what? Huh? I had watched the movie 3 times, including the first time I watched it in theater, which was when it first came out. And then 2 other times to do a review, I was like, wait, what? So because of that, I'm getting a solid B. The first part of the movie did not catch my attention. And then after Galen passes away, it was like, oh, we're in this again. Oh, okay. Oh, we're on this planet. Oh, okay. Oh no, not you. Don't die. No, oh my gosh, you're dying too. Oh my gosh, it's Darth Vader. That's is how me watching this movie. And you can replay that clip over again. Go for it. Make a gif of it. I don't care. But that's just me watching this movie. And because of that, get a movie solid B. The music score in the movie was great. The color of the movie, it was such a vibrant movie. The colors of it matches. It felt well. Like, even the darker scenes where the movie had like dark lighting, there's still color in it. And I like that. All right, I'm done talking. Star Wars, Rogue One. I guess Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Keep doing that. A solid B. What did you guys think? Please let me know. Please put in the comment section below what you guys think. What do you think is an A? Do you think it's a C, D, F? If you think it's an F, you know what? Keep your opinions to yourself. Nah, do it. Put it in the comment section. We're all different. We're all like had different attitudes, different mindsets. Just do it. And don't be afraid to be you. Anyway, I'm done. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time. Keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe for more episodes of Grind Towards Success, movie breakdowns, or whatever it is you're watching on my channel. I have different stuff from interviews to other movie reviews to wrestling reviews. If you're a wrestling fan, please subscribe if you want to see all that and see what's going on. Also, you can follow me on Snapchat here, follow me on Instagram there to see what I'm doing in my personal life as well as my business and Ninja Warrior. And lastly, you can watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success here, and you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns there. Thank you guys once again. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Keep being awesome.